Hello, folks. I'm Max Potter here alongside me, Joe Paris. We are here at the Kirby Lyle Gymnasium on Cherry Creek High School's beautiful campus for tonight's 5A girls volleyball matchup between our Cherry Creek Bruins and the Grandview. Our Cherry Creek Bruins game 9-4, number 2 in the Centennial League and number 8 in the state, where Grandview is 7-5, number 3 in the league, and unranked in the state as of right now. Big week for Cherry Creek here. Homecoming week, and the Bruins out there sporting their pink uniforms. As on the opposing side, the Grandview Wolves will be wearing gray with the pink lettering, all in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As the Bruins, looking for a big win here today, lost their first league matchup last week versus Cherokee Trail, entering onto the game. Back to serve it away to start off this contest. Number 13, Daisy Schultz.
Exciting to be back here, Max. I haven't called a game in this gymnasium since 2012. Some homecoming week spirit in the air. And we're underway, Max.
Grandview starts it off nicely, but the kill goes out of bounds. Cherry Creek off to an early 1-0 lead.
And Cherry Creek's going to have to do a good job tonight keeping that back row in check. They got to make sure that they get these balls up front and keep it down the center.
And their nice attempted effort from Tate Eppert on the block, but it falls, and we're all tied at 1.
Yeah, Tate's going to be a big factor tonight. She stands at 5'11". She's one of the taller girls on the front line, and I mean she's going to be going toe-to-toe over some pretty tall gals from Grandview.
The Bruins defensively not set up well there by Taylor Fulton. That ball falls out of play as an ace comes for Grandview. Looking to make a good defensive impact here, Bruins. They're going to need to hold in check. Number 12, Madison Bolser, as she's a heavy killer for this Grandview Wolf, as a nice defensive play there by Kate Chapman. The kill, though, from Eppert falls out of the back. As Bolser is a heavy killer, they're going to need to defend her well tonight. And also in the back row, Rachel Reed, a huge impact player for the Grandview Wolves. She plays excellent defense and sets up the offense really well for the Wolves.
It's going to be really important for Cherry Creek to keep Busler in check tonight. She stands at 5'11". I mean, she sticks out there in the center of the front row, and you know the ball's going to her. I mean, she's tall enough to where even if you know it's going to her, she's still going to have a lot of power coming down on that big arc.
That's a good point there. We got 4-1 in favor of the Wolves right now as the service is away, Grandview. As Eppert's just going to toss that one over. The Wolves are going to kill that one.
And that was Busler on that last one. I mean, she extends on quickly.
Some impact players as well, needing a big performance out of number 6, Tony McDougall. She starts the game on the bench, coming off of an ankle injury that kept her out of the game for around 2 weeks after the Cherry Creek Classic. She's going to need to get in and make a big impact here.
And Francesca Reed, who is the tallest girl out there, she stands at 6 feet tall. She's definitely, she's going to be, I think, the biggest factor here tonight. She's a tree standing there in front of the net.
I agree, and that's a very good point. As the Bruins, after getting that early first point, they're struggling. Wolves have taken the last 7. And now our impact player, Tony McDougall, steps onto the field. Another impact player for the Bruins is number 13, Daisy Schultz. She's always been known for having those nice dipping serves that have kept the Bruins on the ace side of things, as McDougall comes in with a powerful kill. Defended nicely, though. Fish on the slide to Eppert is going to be defended nicely by the Wolves.
And you can see that Grandview is playing around McDougall. That she came onto the floor. She was obviously the impact player that Coach Moose was looking for. The first shot she takes a few feet back from the net. She's got really good range, and you can see Grandview's going to try and avoid her. She was on the left side of the formation for Cherry Creek, and Grandview played to the right.
As she's going to come in, and her first attempted kill back that falls is going to go out of bounds, and Cherry Creek's going to have to take an early timeout. They're currently trailing 9-1.
Really good vision, though, on the play by Daisy Schultz. She looked across the formation. She saw McDougal's on that far side. She said, we got to get it to her. We got to stop the bleeding. Cherry Creek trailing 9-1 here early. And, I mean, it's not going to be a secret. They're going to target Schultz all game long. And if she doesn't get it going, Cherry Creek's going to have to look to someone else to find answers.
I agree with that. And on that point, Daisy Schultz, she's been known for having those high-quality sets. And she and McDougal have really been connecting this year. They've been doing a great job. And, you know, after 2 weeks back, would you say it's kind of hard to get that flow?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to step into anything, especially there's a little bit of extra pressure here tonight. I mean, it's homecoming week. You got the pink out. You got all your friends in the stands, your family in the stands. You know, it's a really special week, homecoming week. There's lots of fun things going on. And this is one of the marquee events of the week. And, you know, it's hard to ignore that on any level, high school, college, you know, professionals. If there's a big event, you know, something going on during the game, it's hard to ignore that.
I agree. I think you make a great point there. The Bruins really looking to bounce back here. They're trailing 9-1. That's good defensive play to start out. McDougal to Schultz to McDougal. And she just hasn't found that rhythm quite yet. That's 3 kills that have not found the floor in play. What do you think she's got to do?
I think she's got to tone it down a little bit. She's going out there 100 miles per hour right now. She's got to let the game come to her. She's obviously got the talent.
The attempted slide does not pan out well for the Bruins, but good awareness by McDougal to keep that one alive. And she's going to get it. Her first kill, being back from that high ankle injury.
And she seems to be moving around pretty well. She came off the bench. She kind of trotted over a little gingerly, but it looks like she's doing well. Now she's going to have an opportunity to serve the ball from the back line. She's got a lot of power. Hopefully Creek can go on a run here.
Now, Joe, how important do you think that is, just getting that first kill under your belt? I mean, coming back from an injury, that's got to be tough.
I mean, the first one's always going to be the hardest. And now Cherry Creek starts to roll a little bit. It's not McDougal making the play. She's standing on the back row on that one. And it's her teammates now that are going to have to share the wealth. Of course, Grandview's going to take a look at her all game long. So if you can kind of use her as, you know, some false actions to the left, to the right, it'll work out well.
And wow, there you have it again. Bolster comes in with a great kill for the Wolves. Bruins now going to make a substitution. Kaisa Mayer is going to come on for Catherine Fish.
And Coach Moose right now, she's shaking her head a little bit because she knows that her girls just don't seem to be moving as a cohesive unit now. Individual players are looking good, but they're not shifting as a group. And then they do shift as a group and have a great play as I say that. I mean, Tate Eppard, perfect fundamental play. She lifted up, spiked it down at a perfect angle in an area nobody was near. And that's how you do it.
I think it is interesting how they're not playing towards the side of Rachel Reed. As you see that one, they're targeting specifically on the other side where it looks like they're knowing what she's going to have, and it looks like they're going to try to go away from her all night long. Do you think that's going to pan out for them?
Yeah, I think that they're going to try and go away from her, but at the same time, good players will be felt. And you know what we just saw right there from Tony McDougal is something that the first set might be tough. I mean, she's coming back for an injury. That's a play that Tony's going to make 10 out of 10 times. And, you know, seeing that right there, just a missed play off of an easy ball. It's not alarming, but, you know, she's got to get back into it.
And that one's going to go out of bounds. Bruins are going to get the point back. 5-12 here. As that substitution made about a minute ago is going to reverse, and Fish comes on for Mayer.
I think Kate Chapman has been doing a really good job for Cherry Creek, too, kind of directing traffic out there. Barrow out there wearing the blue jersey, but she's doing a really good job keeping her group composed.
I think a little miscue there on the part of Catherine Fish as that ball appeared to be going out towards our broadcast booth. And, you know, Wolves get another important point. Looks like Bruins getting down early, and they just got to stay in this game as it's looking like right now. We'd say they just need to, I guess, build some momentum. Or do you think they go after the set?
Well, I think that was a really good start right there. You know, with anything, you got to get the fundamentals down, and Cherry Creek, the small things aren't popping right now. Balls going off of hands weird, sets not being made properly. And I think Grandview, they're playing a good game, but they're not right now. They're just playing good fundamental volleyball, and that's what Cherry Creek's got to get back to here.
It's good defense there from Taylor Fulton. Gets over to McDougal, and she brings out the powerful kill. But, again, great defense by Rachel Reed.
That was an incredible dig by Reed. That ball's coming in at 100 miles an hour at a really tough angle. I thought McDougal definitely have that one for sure, but Rachel Reed slotting to her left. I mean, just getting under that one enough. And not only getting under it, but a really nice setup play for her teammate there.
Now Reed is back, services away. Played nicely by Lavasani out to McDougal. Has her kill blocked. And the Bruins get a point on a Wolves miscue.
And that's really the first miscue we've seen from Grandview here this evening. And I mean, that's the difference so far, is that Cherry Creek's had a few, minor issues, but that's going to cost them points. And when you play a team like Grandview, especially in a Centennial League matchup, these mistakes are going to be the difference. On a play like that in front, Catherine Fish has got to get up there. Maybe you're not going to make the big play at the net, but you've got to set your teammate up for some kind of an opportunity to move it around.
As overall, I'd say it was a nice night for the Bruins. Sophomore, JV, and freshman getting victories. That's good defensive play from Chapman. Sets it up to Schultz. And it's in. Nope, they're going to call that one out. Look to be in from where we are. That one's going to fly out of bounds.
A really good look, though, from Schultz. I mean, going with the left hand there, and she's a really good alternative to McDougal. And I think, obviously, with the attention going to be on McDougal, maybe if you can get Schultz involved early, you can cut into this deficit.
I think you make a great point there. Bruins really needing their left-handed support. Schultz always providing a big impact there. As Bruins are going to get the point on the ball, which flies out.
And now that Cherry Creek's got the ball back, they got to start doing something with it. The first 3 times that they had service, they kind of just pandered it away. So it's now time for Cherry Creek to make the run.
Great defensive effort there from the Bruins. As Chapman's forced to just put it over. And a great block there for Cherry Creek. McDougal with an excellent block.
And Tate Eppard with a great job assisting her right there. I think Tate actually got a small piece of that one too, so a good team effort there. She doesn't just leave McDougal to do it for herself. Tate makes the good play and helps out.
And wouldn't you know it, Bulser comes in right after a great defensive play from the Bruins and just shuts them down. That's what she provides for this brand new Wolves offense. She just gets them.
It was actually Francesca Reed on that last one, and she's killing it here early.
That's my mistake, folks.
And another, solid play at the net for Madison Busler right there. Grandview's just feeling it right now. They got everything going their way, and they're playing really good volleyball. They're spacing out well. They're not trying to do too much. It would be, one mentality. We're going into a hostile environment. We got to try and do everything the right way. And here early, they're just playing good ball.
And Patty Childress has always been a great coach of this Grandview Wolves club. She's led them to back-to-back state titles, and the Wolves again this year looking for another state title. It's got to be tough as a Bruin to come out here knowing you're facing, back-to-back champions. Do you think that just is intimidating right now?
Yeah, and it's also that sleeping giant factor as a really good play from the far side from Taylor Fulton. But Grandview comes in 3rd in the league. They're not ranked in the top 25 in the state of Colorado, and it's kind of that time of year where you think, well, Grandview's probably going to get it going on. A big game against, the big arch rival Cherry Creek High School might be the game that sets them off.
As that is just a beautiful play by Kate Chapman, just seeing the awareness. And that one is, wow. That's all I can say, Joe. Wow. The power on that shot is just unbelievable.
Chapman had no choice. She was in the vicinity, but realistically, you're not going to be able to do anything with that one. Even if Chapman gets low enough to dig that, that's going into the 5th row in the student section.
And a tough break there for the Bruins. Is, there's no way to defend that ball that just hits off the top of the net. They're now going to drop to a 20-11 deficit. They're going to take their second timeout here.
And with, Cherry Creek here trailing by 9, and Grandview can close the set out with 5 points. Coach Moose knows that this is probably one of the last opportunities to get the group together and say, guys, calm down. I know there's a lot of excitement. I know there's a lot of energy in the building, but you guys are a top team. You can play with these guys. You just got to get it clicking.
Coach Moose has always been a great coach of these Cherry Creek Bruins. I know she was around back when you were here.
She's been here for a long time. She was actually here when my cousins who were here, I think in the early 90s, was here. And I actually took Coach Moose was also a PE teacher here. I took her PE class, I think, 3 separate occasions in my 4 years here. I think I actually got a concussion in her class once. So that was back, though, before concussions were, a huge deal.
Yeah, they're the big thing.
Now I'm sure I would have been pulled out of gym for a week. But Coach Moose, though, I mean, she takes it seriously. On the court with volleyball, in the classroom. She also teaches health. I mean, she's an all-around – I mean, she's a Bruin. She's a Bruin for life, and it's really cool to see her still here, coming back and broadcasting with you guys. I mean, it's my first time here since 2012, so this is, really exciting, to step away for 4 or 5 years and come back to see what Cherry Creek has done, not only on the volleyball court, but on the football field, on the ice rink, on the lacrosse field, on track and field. And it's good to be back.
Well, it's good to have you back, Joe. As you know, a nice defensive effort there made by Kaisa Mayer, but she got a hand on that one, just flies out of bounds. The Bruins now holding a 10-point deficit. They're really needing to cut that deficit down and, at least get some momentum working into the next game. You don't have to take this set. Still got a lot of volleyball left to play. It looks like a big point here is just getting the momentum to swing into that second set and, maybe make a big impact and get a big win.
And it's going to be girls like Kate Epper that are going to get it going here. I mean, Tate knows that this is a really important game. She's been around for a few years. She's in her junior year. She understands Creek volleyball. She understands Coach Moose's system, and things are going to start falling the Bruins' way. I mean, honestly, Grandview is playing really sound volleyball right now, and things just aren't falling the Bruins' way.
Yeah, you got to wonder how long they can keep that up and see a slight slip from the Wolves' defense. And another good attempted block, but again, Mayer's block is going to fall out of bounds.
And again, Creek's doing the right thing. They're getting the wickets up in the force, getting the way of the ball, and the deflection it's just coming out of bounds. It's the way it bounces sometimes.
It is good to see, though, that the Bruins are getting this defense because as we were talking about before, the momentum, defense can make a bigger impact than offense on some regards. If you're making these good blocks, I like a great defensive play there from Chapman.
Really good play there by Chapman to keep it alive. Again, Chapman's feeling it. Really solid rally here too, Max. And this has been the longest of our evening so far.
And man, oh man, just great defense there from the Wolves.
And this is a huge point. I mean, if Cherry Creek can come up with this one, it'll be a momentum shifter for sure.
As again, they set it up. And they get it.
Taylor
Beautiful job.
Great play by Taylor Fulton. I mean, she picked a spot on the floor and she put the ball there just like they teach you how to do it in camp growing up. And Fulton right there doesn't have to make the fancy play, doesn't have to make the power play, but makes the right play. She puts it in open space, and Cherry Creek rewarded with a huge point there.
I think what you were saying has a big impact is, there we go, a serving miscue from Catherine Fish. But, as you were saying before, that was a huge point. Bruins had a big rally there going, and I think that's just going to make a big impact. They're going to get this momentum from winning a big point like that. How do you think they're going to do off this? And well, there you go.
That's really perfect. I mean, you have a little miscue on the serve, and then Grandview answers with their own. And, 23-15. Grandview 2 points away from taking the set. But Cherry Creek is still in striking distance. I mean, the game of volleyball is a game of runs, and here and play off some momentum, they might be able to have a chance at this first set. But it's going to come down to the fundamental play again. They can't make any silly mistakes.
Fish. Back to Schultz, to McDougall. And well defended there by the Wolves, as they've been keeping up all game long. As McDougall looks for that back corner, she's unable to find it.
And I think she's a little frustrated right now as well, because she keeps on, getting faced with a double team run against the net. And so I think she tried to actually play that over the reach of the defenders, and she just overhit it. She's got to just keep on playing. She's got to play it a little bit safe here.
As we reached, Wolves now needing one more point to get the set. I think they have a realistic chance here coming back getting, 9 points? If they can keep that run going, if they can just continue to do what they did on that long stretch of play, they have a chance. But as I say that, no, well defended, and thankfully that beam was there. No, I was wrong, Joe.
And Daisy Schultz, I mean, she had a nearly impossible play to try and get that over on the third shot. And first set's going to go to Grandview. And, you know, the beautiful thing about volleyball is that you can get absolutely demolished in, you know, the first set or something. And you start over in the second set at 0-0. Obviously, there's one set up on the board. But Cherry Creek can go take a seat. They can go kind of maybe draw some things up, take a breath, and, you know, get a hold of the situation here.
Yeah, that's a great point, Joe. And as you're saying, we might take a break here, too, on Cherry Creek High School Bruins. Then your home for Cherry Creek sports. And we're back, folks. Getting ready for our second set of action here. Wolves take the first one, 25-16. As we're glad to be commentating this game, we're glad you're joining us here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday evening here in Greenwood Village, Colorado. Beautiful place. It's actually a little bit rainy. I like it. It actually feels like the fall now.
I agree with that. We've had a lot of hot weather this fall. I mean, we're just now getting into fall and it's starting to get a little bit cooler out. I think everyone's enjoying it except for those who are just like, I want to be in Arizona where it's 90 degrees all the time. But
there's a lot of kids from California, and they don't know what the winter is, so they wear shorts and flip-flops all year round. So they're really in for a real bitter surprise here in a few weeks when it starts snowing, hopefully. But onto the court.
As a nice play there from Fulton gets the Bruins the first point of this set. And they're looking to get off to a hot start here.
And that's the thing with volleyball, as we said at the end of the first set. The reset here, obviously it's 1-0 up on the board. They can come out in this set and they can even things up. They can take a deep breath. And, maybe it's the side of the court. Maybe this side of the court's a little more lucky tonight. I'm a believer in that.
As am I, Joe. And a great block there from Hannah Szymanski. Wow. Beautiful defensive play, and the Bruins really needing that, I'm saying.
Szymanski was quiet in that first set, and getting her involved here really early in the second set, she could be a factor that emerges in this game as a big difference. As you can see, they're trying to avoid her now.
And a great defensive save there from Schultz. As a missed timing on the set and jump, it's going to lead to a Grandview point.
Cherry Creek here, though, they've got to take a deep breath and they got to stay in control. They can't, think back to the first set. That one's over. You got to forget about it. You're only as good as your last point, so Keep playing. They're going to actually give that point to Grandview, Max. That was on the line, as they call it.
Yes.
I don't know if you can see in your monitor at home, but that was awful close. The official actually took a quick second to think about that one.
Chapman with a nice defensive play on Schultz to McDougal. And a fantastic defensive play there from Brenna Gaston, but she's not going to find the net as that one's just going to go in and give the Bruins a point.
Gaston, I think she illustrated there, though, the power behind McDougal's shot. McDougal was on about the back row on that shot, and the velocity that it had coming over the net into the dig, was impressive. You saw how far the rebound shot off the arms went flying to the left. And, Gaston, nothing she can do on that one.
Yeah. As we're going to have a little officials meeting as she's going to come over and have a quick chat.
Okay, so they're reminding the student section here at Cherry Creek High School not to target any of the players, good or bad, with last names. I remember when I was here, it was a big tradition that they've gotten away with, which is good because it's unsportsmanlike. You would pick a player's name and you would just chant their player's name. A great play, though, by Cherry Creek to get back up on the board and take a 2-point advantage. They're biggest of the afternoon. And, it's really important, though. You talk about high school sports. Sportsmanship is really important. Just as important as what's going on, in the field of play.
I think that's a great point. And, kids here are learning their lessons that they're going to be having for the rest of their lives. As Bruins are going to get the point as they're going to say she stepped over the line. They're going to take a 3-point advantage, which might be big here. You never know. As the Wolves, I'm not too familiar on how they played before, but I know how we play. We play so much better from when we're from ahead, as most teams do and should. You shouldn't be making these comebacks. And
what a play.
That is just a beautiful
Chapman.
And I spoke too soon as Chapman tried to do just a little bit too much there. It looked like she tried to blast that one over, just ended up hitting the top of our Kirby-Lyle Gymnasium.
I don't know about you, Max, but it seems like Cherry Creek's playing with a lot more confidence here in the second set.
I think I'd agree with that. I don't know if it was something Moose said in the huddle, or if it was just them getting a sense of urgency, saying, we can't go down 2-0 to this Grandview team who, once they get on you, they get on you. There's no letting you back in the ball game.
Like a pack of wolves.
And there you go. There's a great kill from Tony McDougal. And she now puts the Bruins up 6-3. As Szymanski's going to sub on for the libero, Kate Chapman.
And Chapman, she's deserved a rest here. She's been all over the floor, not only being the general out there, but she has also been, she's made so many digs that have kept plays alive for Cherry Creek that, she's been the difference. She is the reason why Cherry Creek is up in this set.
Yes. As Szymanski's serve is a low and powerful one.
And that's just poor luck. You got 3 gals jumping up to block the ball. A really nice play, and it just comes off the arm funny.
And it looked like they tried to make a chance at it. I think that was Kaisa Mayer who made a stab at it. Her stab just, put it to reach for Tony McDougal. As back to serve. It's Madison Bullstar. Schultz out to McDougal. And a fantastic dig there from Bullsler. And a returning dig from Lavasani.
And that's going to be a big call from the official right there. Both teams saying they didn't touch it last. It looked like Kylie Haar might have gotten a piece of it.
And they're going to say
no, though.
McDougal didn't get it over. As a groan comes from Cherry Creek.
6-5 Bruins, well.
Lavasani. And wow, another fantastic defensive effort there. Schultz kicks it out to McDougal, who's going to tap it. Schultz. And they're going to call 2 touches on that one. I don't know if I saw 2 touches. It just looked like a Bruin miscommunication. I don't know if you can call that 2 touches.
Well, the official decided so it is. And, that makes it 6-6. And this is gut check time for Cherry Creek.
As Chapman's going to look to play it to McDougal. And again, she's unable to get it over. As you know, at this point, it's looking like it's just a mental thing. She's not thinking that I can do this, as we're going to get a sub on. Number 7, Christine Siegfried's going to come on for Tony McDougal.
And McDougal, she's going to take a seat, but she'll be back here pretty quickly. She needs to just take a real quick rest. You don't want to overdo it, coming back from a high ankle sprain like she had. You don't want to aggravate it.
And it already looks like the two big connections for the Bruins aren't on the same page. Schultz tried to kick it out to Siegfried, but, I guess that's what happens. And it's Siegfried's second game from JV to varsity. That's got to make it tough on this entire crew. I'd say.
Yeah. It's tough to putting a new moving piece, especially on game day, but the Bruins could rally around that.
Siegfried,
and there it is.
I spoke too soon again as Siegfried comes in with a big kill for Cherry Creek.
And that's what you need. Siegfried's a high-energy player. She makes a high-energy play, and the Bruins are within 1.
And, you also got the connection. We have 4 juniors out on the floor right now for the Bruins and 2 seniors. And that's got to help with chemistry, too. It's a good defensive play there from Fish. And Siegfried's hit is just going to be defended easily. Boostlers not going to find it. And the Bruins tie back up at 8 here. These are getting to be big points for Cherry Creek. As you said, it was gut check time, and the Bruins, not get, it's what you like to see as a Bruins fan. This Fish is going to punch it outside to Siegfried. Boostler easily on there. And a great block there. It looks like Daisy Schultz and Allie Nebergall combined on the block there for Cherry Creek.
Schultz with a great job timing her jump there, jumping perfectly, knocking it straight down. Great play for Cherry Creek.
And, folks, a great ace there from Catherine Fish. I don't know how you could see that on your monitor, but from where we were sitting, that ball had a little bit of knuckle on it.
Yeah, it was definitely spinning kind of odd. I don't know how it came out of her hand like that, but there it goes again.
And she gets it again, a nice drop on that ball.
Oh.
And it looked like a missed touch there. That ball looked to be falling out of bounds, but
she knew it. Fish was trying to pull her arm back, too, as she realized sometimes you get sucked into it. The lines are hard to see on the floor. They're like
I agree with that.
Cream color.
Yes.
So sometimes you just try to go over it.
The Cherry Creek. And a fantastic dig there from Reed. Will get the Wolves a point. And that's what she's been known for. She's been 3 years on varsity, and she's a junior. And she's been known as a very good defensive player. And you see there, she just makes just unbelievable plays. That ball looked to be falling.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play.
Stopped beautifully there by Reed.
She popped right back up, too.
Fish to McDougal, who entered back in.
And that's the type of play that Cherry Creek wasn't seeing Grandview make in that first set. They weren't making any mistakes, and Grandview hitting 3 or 4 balls out of play right now, and that really is the difference. Creek up by a single point. Grandview, they pitched what you call almost a perfect game in that first set, and now they're starting to falter a little bit. And that'll give Cherry Creek a window to strike.
And that's just a tough call there. Volleyball rule. It touched the speakers we have here at Cherry Creek and bounced over the net. Nothing you can do as a Bruin there. That was just a great defensive play there by Fulton. We're back to a tie.
As far as I'm aware, Max, if the ball hits the ceiling and it's not the third touch, it stays on your side, it's still alive. But if it hits the ceiling and goes over, that's the end of the point.
Back out to the lefty, Schultz, and she's going to get a great kill there. Nice defensive effort made from Madison Bulser, but she could not get to that. That just had too much power and too much downward angle there. Great kill from Schultz.
You saw that McDougal was used as some misdirection on that play. I think Grandview thought it was, of course, going to go to McDougal, and it opened up an opportunity.
And, right back at it is Grandview and Francesca Reed with a beautiful placement of that kill. Ties it back up at 12 here. as the Wolves service is away. Fulton.
We got to get it over. Wow.
And she just ran out of room there.
Fulton really, their only option would to basically strike her teammate in the face on the bench there. I mean, she was getting right into the sweet chin music zone.
And this is where it just becomes tough playing in gymnasiums like this. I don't know how well it can be seen on your monitor. Probably not very well at all. That's a great kill there from Schultz. Beautiful to get this back to a tie. But as I was saying before, the roof on this place is kind of, a choppy. Joe, can you vouch? We got these little cement beams.
It's a little smaller. I watch a lot of University of Colorado volleyball and the Coors Event Center, obviously. They've got 50-foot ceilings, and you just don't see some of these plays. But that's what makes it high school volleyball. It's got a little bit more character.
An astounding kill there. Just beautiful power from Madison Bolsler.
Each gymnasium is going to have its quirks and its things that make it, the gymnasium. Kirby Lyle Gymnasium here. It's got the speakers and the poles hanging up there that run the water through the school. And you'd say it's maybe an advantage for Cherry Creek, knowing that.
And that one's – and wow.
And Coach Moose can't believe it because that one clearly deflected off the hand of Emma.
Yes, that one was pretty clear. I don't know how much clearer cut you can get. Maybe they need to look at our monitor and see our replay.
But the ball changed, angles there.
McDougal, Schultz, Efford, and it is defended nicely by the Wolves. The tip over goes to McDougal. Back to Schultz, who's going to get the backwards touch. And now, man, that play was big. We would have had a 14-14 all ball game. But, now it's 13-16. How big do you think that call was?
You hate to have an official's call, deter the outcome of a game. But, Cherry Creek's got to, keep a clean head here.
Schultz is going to kick it out to Fulton, who's going to have her kill drop.
Really good play by Fulton. I mean, she didn't have much of an angle at that one. She kind of just had to bump it over with her fist. But, hey, it works. It's the point.
Yeah, ended up panning out for her. As Fulton now back to serve it away for Cherry Creek. And not what you want to see there. Bruins be giving away free points. As you see, Fulton's now going to come off for Lavasani.
I mean, Cherry Creek's getting into the danger zone here, too. Grandview only 8 points away from taking the set and the match.
And this is just a crucial second set. I mean, you can't be going down because then the Bruins are going to have to be winning 3. And that one's not going to help out their cause as they now trail 18-14, and Coach Moose is going to signal for a timeout.
If you're not familiar at home, it's best 3 out of 5 and 25 points. I think hopefully if you're tuned in tonight and this is your first volleyball game, hope you're enjoying the action. I know that a lot of people are getting into volleyball, especially at the high school and collegiate level. Advent of stuff like, high school broadcasting, put it on the map. But the way that, college recruiting works now for all sports, I guarantee you there's at least one scout in this gym tonight that's probably watching at least Tom Dougal, but anyone else that might stick out. I mean, Cherry Creek High School is a feeder program for every single major sport that you have on the, going to the college level. And it's incredible to watch, the talent that comes out of high school and into college. I mean, I'm sure there'll be some gals playing on Sundays and Friday nights in front of thousands of fans here in a few years.
That's a great point. And just to go back, folks, as he said, best 3 out of 5 to 25, except for in the 5th set if we reach it. The 5th set is best to 15. Is that always, adds a little more pressure. And the Bruins last year fell in state as they suffered a big loss to, I'd say, what was supposed to be the lowest ranked, team in their little category. And a miscue there from Cherry Creek. She's just going to tap that one over. And Cherry Creek now trailing 19-14, Grandview ahead as Val Blake checks into the game.
That 5th set only going to 15 might actually benefit Creek in the end if we get there.
Yes, because Bruins, again, just coming out really strong. And I wouldn't want to say that the train's falling apart here, but it kind of seems like as we get along, their energy goes down.
McDougal with a really good play there. Everyone, including myself, I think was expecting for her to send that in at a million miles an hour, but a really nice popper just to put it in space.
And the Bruins get a point there as The Wolves are unable to get that one over. And now the deficit's only 3.
Coach Moose is starting to plot. She's plotting on her whiteboard, under her journal. The wheels are turning for Cherry Creek.
And the Bruins, I believe, touched the net, as a call from our official. Up on the stand, he's going to say we touched the net, and it's now 20-16.
I'm not saying right or wrong, but the officials have tagged Cherry Creek tonight on multiple, technicality calls.
That's a good defensive play there from Chapman out to Schultz. The left-handed tap from McDougal is defended well, and that one's going to fly out of bounds.
Good job by Val Blake, who is also a swinger from JV. She comes into the game for one of the first times here as we're getting to the end of the set. And I think Coach Moose, she's got a lot of confidence in Blake. I mean, putting her in a game that's 3 points, you're down the first set. A really nice play by Blake to not make a play there. And that speaks huge for her getting into this game at this point. And Chapman's going to be frustrated with that one. She just had a bad read. She was right in the zone where she wanted to be on that side, but she didn't get a good angle at it.
I agree, and I also you got to give some credit to Schlepp for. She just had a great placement of that kill, and she's given the Wolves points that they were really needing. Now, trying to get a late as a slide is gonna work out for the Bruins as Nevergall puts that one away for Cherry Creek.
The senior making a senior play. She's coming over. Just floating through the air. Almost looks like Michael Jordan. And a lot of girls will just try to hit the ball as hard as they can from that angle, but Nevergall does a really good job, again, just to put it in a spot where nobody is.
And another beautiful knuckle serve there. And a miscommunication. Bruins like it, and Grandview takes a timeout. 19-21 here.
And Patty Childress going to take a timeout to try to calm her girls down. She's got a 2-point lead here coming into the end of the set, and she knows how crucial a 2-0 game would be rather than a 1-1 game. 1-1, we're back to square one.
Yes, we are.
2-0. You've got your foot right there.
Yeah, and as you're saying there, we're home field, Cherry Creek. We're in the Kirby Lyle Gymnasium. 2-0, this crowd, gets depleted. You start seeing some of those people disappear, and that's going to make an impact on how Cherry Creek plays and how Grandview plays because they're not having to deal with the noise. But when you go back to 1-1, this crowd's back into the ballgame. They're excited.
I think Cherry Creek High School's student section, they gotta get a little more pep in them right now. They've been really quiet. And, I understand that first set, there wasn't a lot to cheer for. This one, it's been back and forth. But you got to create that Bruins den. You got to create that home field advantage. And, I remember, Max, especially in stadiums, not stadium sports, gymnasium sports, like volleyball and basketball for the longest time, teams hated to come and play here because this was a hostile environment. And you just got to recreate that.
I agree with that. And you see that in some of the top teams in, 5A volleyball, Chaparral, Legend, all with pretty big gymnasiums having good basketball and volleyball programs. I think that's a good point there. That's attesting to the loudness, and no one wants to go in there and play them. On the road, I'm guessing it's got to be a little easier for teams to play them, or not easier for the teams to play them on the road, but when, Chaparral and Legends on the road.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great point.
And Coach Moose is actually going to take a timeout with Cherry Creek, and I think that's it. I think that's their final timeout. Maybe they have one more left. I can't the board from here, but yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay, that was it. So that was our final timeout of the set, and it's getting down to what you would say the 2-minute warning in football here. And this is again a gut check time for Cherry Creek, and Coach Moose knows that. You're down by 3. Grandview 3 points away from being up 2-0. That's scary. It's homecoming week. You want to get it rolling here. You got the pink out. You want to please the fans here at Kirby Lyle Gymnasium.
And you got a big Centennial League matchup here. These games matter. Everyone's looking at the Centennial League, and if the Bruins drop this game, they're going to go to 0-2 in the league as they, face 2 really tough teams. Cherokee Trail, highly rated, and Grandview team who's no easy defeat.
No, back-to-back state champions. Unbelievable. And they're third right behind Cherry Creek in the Centennial League standings, and they're hungry and they want to be number 2 coming out tonight. Really good play though by Daisy Schultz.
I agree with that. She's, she comes out of the break, and I think she understands. She's been on varsity 3 years, as I think a few of these players have. She's only a junior too. This is her 3rd year, and varsity all 3 years, and that's just what you see when you come out with players with such varsity experience. They just understand the game so well, and that's what you love to see. And it's going to go out of bounds.
And McDougal has been really quiet here on the latter half of this second set. Look for her to come alive here in the next few points as Grandview's going to take their final timeout.
Wow, that's a stretch of, I'd say, 6, maybe 5 points. We had all 4 of our timeouts taken. That's just a test. Is huge. And as you were saying before, Joe, Patty Childress knows and Sally Moose knows that, you got to win this set. This is the one that matters.
This is huge right here. I mean, the next 5-6 points could determine, the remainder of this game, because let's be honest here, Cherry Creek's down 2-0. Those are grim odds. That's hard to come back and score. What, you have to score 50 points? You have to score, the next 50 out of the, 51 points. That's tough.
Yeah, and as we said before, the rules state that you must win by 2. So Cherry Creek, if they want it here, they got to take 4 in a row and, concede none or 1. And that's tough to do, but it must be done. And it always gets to high stress when you go into those extra points where, every single serve is crucial.
And this is where you're going to see your senior leaders and your key players stepping up. This is crunch.
As Nebergall serves it away. And the block there from Cherry Creek's going to go.
Well, the officials are actually going to disagree, yeah. To be honest, I think Cherry Creek deserves a makeup call for what we saw earlier, but they are going to
they're going to give the block that goes out of bounds.
All right.
As a raining of boos comes down from the Bruins den. Fulton, Fish, Eppard. Great defense by Schultz as they're going to kick it back out to her. And she tries to drop that one in. McDougal, Fish, far side, Fulton. And she gets rejected, man. And Bruins really, it's crunch time now. They got to take.
Reed's feeling it for Grandview tonight. She has been exactly in the right place on exactly every play.
Fulton to Fish. And that's going to do it. As I'm not quite sure what the call is. I don't know if you got that one. I believe they're going to say she made 2 touches on the ball.
I think they're going to say it came off the net and hit her twice. So just like
that's
that,
tough,
it's 2 sets to none.
Creek. And we're going to take a step back here. Cherry Creek now down 2-0 as they're looking to come back here. We'll take a break here on CCHS Bruins Den, your home for Cherry Creek sports. Hello, family. I'm back. I'm here alongside Joe Paris. As the Bruins are now trailing 2-0. They dropped the first set 16-25, and this last and most recent set 25-21. And now they're just really needing to bounce back here.
Yeah, Coach was saying during break that they got to get it going. They got to play Cherry Creek volleyball. And I mean, she mentioned something that, I wanted to touch on. Grandview's a really good team. Take nothing away from them. They've got a lot of talent. They play really good team ball, cohesive unit. And if you're, be a contender of the 5A, state playoffs coming up around the corner, you've got to be able to beat teams like this. And what do you got to do? You got to get back to basics. You got to not make silly mistakes. We saw a few times, Cherry Creek got caught doing, weird things like touching the net or having their foot go across the line. And that's things that you want to iron out now. It's okay for that to happen, but you got to iron it out.
That's a great point there, Joe. We're really needing to bounce back here. Schultz's serve gets us kicked off here for our third set of action. The tip over, played nicely by Schultz. Fish with good vision, and the Bruins are going to get the point. And maybe that's just the start they needed. As folks, I don't know if you can see on your monitor, but wow, this student section is gone.
Yeah, I guess it's midterms week, huh? You got a lot of tests to take. We went home to study, but that's all right. And I mean, that's the type of play right there that Coach Moose was talking about. You can't have that, especially down 2-0.
Yeah.
And that's just a miscommunication. That's two girls going for the same ball and both trying to back off at the same time. And
you gotta, and there, see, you just nothing you can do about that. That you gotta take those points that they give you, or at least the chances that they give you, because then bad things happen like that. Nothing that could be done there on the Bruins' end, but Bird gets it. And there's a Bruin break as we're back to 2-2.
Fisher did a really good job, almost psyching out the opponent, stepping up like she was going to make a big move and just tapping it. Sometimes it's about the mind games up at the net.
Back to service number 7, Christine Siegfried. Her service is over.
Fisher
a big kill there for Grandview, but it was well defended. And another good effort there. And nothing you can do there. McDougal, again, playing good defense, but her block is just going to fall outside of the line. And those are the things I'd say just haven't gone Cherry Creek's way tonight.
No, I mean, they're not getting the little rolls that, you want on your home court, and that hasn't made a difference.
But now McDougal with a big kill, and we're back to a tie here at 3-3.
And she was really quiet during that second set. It makes you wonder, how her leg's feeling. But, I mean, back-to-back plays here to get the third set going that you go right to McDougal, and she makes the right play.
And good defensive play there. McDougal's just going to tap it over, but she runs into the net. And now the Bruins trail 4-3.
And that was her just running out of real estate there. I don't think she realized how close to the end line she was.
Yeah. And, you like to see how Bruins are. They had Hannah Szymanski a play ago sub in for Kate Chapman so she could get a little break. Then you see Eppard come out for Chapman. Maybe this is an attempt of Moose trying to find a way to jumpstart this offense. There's a good defensive play to get us back to a tie.
And that's the type of play that you really didn't see, just a one-on-one play at the net where McDougal could just elevate and make the block. I mean, that play is going to be made, 8 out of 10 times. That's going to be McDougal. And you have a serve into the net from Fish, and that's twice for her this evening. That, uncharacteristic of volleyball. You don't see that from the Bruins.
Goes back to serve it away. Appears to be number 12, Madison Bustler. And there you go. Another break goes Grandview's way as that ball again hits the top of the net and just drops over.
I've counted 4 or 5 of those tonight, and the Bruins have only been able to make a play on, I think, 1 of those.
And as a coach, maybe she was going for it again as that one just hits off the top of the net and bounces back. As maybe that might be in the Grandview game plan if it's just occurred this often. in all my days watching Bruins volleyball and covering Bruins volleyball, I don't think I've ever seen this many, hit the top of the net like that. And a good attempted slide from Szymanski. She's going to kick it out to Siegfried. And amazing defense there.
Rachel Reed making one of the plays of the game right there. Big point here, though.
And again, Siegfried. Fish. Back to Siegfried. And it's down. And Cherry Creek now tied. It's 6-all.
Siegfried really liked that shot from down the alley. We saw it a few times during that second set. Siegfried, one of those players who does play JV and also comes up to varsity, and she's making a bid. Be surprised that Coach Moose and just keep her here.
I was wondering the same thing too, Joe. You have these players on JV, and she's proven right now, to me at least, that she can play at this varsity level, and it's not a big feat for her. But would you, as a coach, Sally Moose, would you want to risk having her on JV and possibly getting injured when she could just do all this work for you on varsity? That's a good attempt there by Szymanski. Fish. Schultz. Out to Siegfried.
And that's just good awareness by Grandview. They can see that McDougal's really not feeling it here in this third set, and the go-to gal is Siegfried. They send over to the right side. Little you can do about it.
Yeah, and I think that's got to be a story of this game, how little McDougal has been in this game. And, coming into the game, she was one of our keys. We expected her to do big things. I'm guessing Grandview expected her to do big things as well. But she seems to be playing more of a defensive role.
And they're going to feed it back to Siegfried, yeah.
They're going to get a tip on that one. As Lama Sadi's going to enter on for McDougal. As there you have it, a defensive specialist is going to come on for an outside hitter. As that's just showing you how McDougal's playing defense this game. And that's really eliminating the Bruins' offensive potential.
And again, Cherry Creek making a technicality error here tonight. And we're also going to see Katie Sherman, I think, coming in for the first time. Yep, there's Sherman. So maybe some new blood on the field, or excuse me, on the court will give the Bruins a little bit of energy.
And, Sherman has been used in this role before. Throughout this year. Whoa! And we had the ball fly off our table here. As I was saying before, though, Sherman, she's come into these games and roles where they're needing points, and it's like big moments. And as a freshman, that's tough to do. But as to this point this year, she's handled it pretty nice.
Really good play there by Sherman.
There.
My goodness.
Schultz looks for that outside corner, but she's not able to get it.
And I really like the look there from Schultz, but at this point, you got to play it safe. I know it's an ambitious play to try and send it all the way to the far side of the court like that, but you really got to just send that one back in play. You can't be taking chances down 2-0, down 4 points in the set like that.
As you see, Schultz gets subbed off for Megan Garrity. So that's a left-hander coming off for a left-hander. Maybe the Bruins looking for a little more size as Garrity comes in at 5'11", where Schultz comes in at 5'9". And she's going to set it out to Sherman, who looks for the back and is unable to find it.
I think that's just going to be a result there. That's the first touch she gets virtually all game. I'm sure that's the first touch she's actually had since warm-ups. It's going to be hard to get the target finder in there right off the bat.
As you can see, from our point of view, you see the gears grinding in Coach Sally Moose's head as she's seeing what they need to do, and she's going to make another move.
And Schultz will check back in, and that's huge. You got to get Schultz back in there.
And, she's coming on. She has that beautiful, beautiful ace, and she has the ability to do it. And I've seen multiple times this year on previous broadcasts, she's had maximum 5 in a row.
Sherman with an incredible play there, stonewalling Reed right at the doorstep. I think Francesca Reed thought she was going to walk all over her on that play, but Sherman, the only freshman on this varsity roster, she shows there why.
Services away from Schultz. And a little miscommunication there. Eppert had the original block, and Schultz goes down low to try to dig that one out, but, Eppert may have believed she was playing back a little more.
Well, I think Eppert actually hesitated on that play. You can see the ball coming to Reed from a mile away, and I mean, Reed has just been slamming it down all game long, and I think Eppert thought if she backed up a little bit, it would take a little bit of velocity off, take the difficulty down. And Cherry Creek now is just looking for answers here. As they're not moving the ball around. They're not passing the ball around the way that, you know, we saw during the early going to the first and second set.
Mm-hmm. And a fantastic serve there. And now Cherry Creek is going to take a timeout. They're going to have to regroup here, and this is a big timeout. They're down 6.
No, this is coming down to the end here. I mean, Cherry Creek, they got to do something here in the next few points, or this is actually over. I mean, they're running out of time. They're running out of points here. You know, you really want to start a comeback, but, you know, sometimes it's just a little bit too late. You know, obviously it's not a timed sport, but, you know, for the metaphor here, you're getting late in the fourth quarter, and you got to get something going.
Yeah, and, you know, as you were saying before, you know, it's not the second set anymore, and they don't have one more set to, you know, come back for. This is it. And, you know, as Sally Moose has got to be pressing them. She's saying, you know, trying to get the troops rallied, saying we got to get it done here because there's no, you know, fourth set to fall back on. This is it for the Bruins.
And Coach Moose understands that. And, you know, at this point, all she can do is say, you got to go out there and play Bruins volleyball. This is why you think back to all the practices we have, you know, all the conditioning sessions we go through. I know you guys are tired. I know it's into the third set here and you guys have had a rough go, but this is it, girls. And there's nothing that at this point, very little that Coach Moose can say that can change what's going to happen on the floor. This comes down to the girls working together.
And this is a game the Bruins have to win. I'm not 100% familiar with the schedule, but, you know, I believe that we play each team in the Centennial League twice, once at home and once on the road. And a great kill there from Eppert coming out of the timeout. As now McDougal comes on for Lavasani, and she's standing up front. Maybe they're trying to put her back in the offensive front, which would be huge for the Bruins.
Oh, they're pulling out all the cards now. I mean, they're going to put McDougal up on that first line and see what she can do. And, you know, you live with your star, you die with your star.
Schultz.
And
Fish.
She's
far side. Tap. And it's down. A great kill there from Tony McDougal.
And that's a veteran play there by McDougal. I know she's frustrated. It would feel great to hit that ball as hard as she can, but she taps it over perfectly, puts it in a perfect spot. Creek down by her.
They're going to kick it out wide, and that ball was pounded. And, you know, that's one of those ones where both teams are going to go up for it. And it looks like Siegfried's going to come on for Sherman, maybe to put a little experience on there.
Well, now you got big hitters on both sides, so pick a side. Pick a poison.
Great defense there from Chapman. And a beautiful kill from Eppert.
You know who made the play right there is Daisy Schultz. Daisy, I mean, it's a no-look pass to set up right over her head. She's looking right at McDougal. McDougal might even thought the ball was coming her way, but a really heads-up play there by Schultz to leave the ball in a really nice spot.
And the Bruins still playing with their lines here. Schultz with a nice play. Fish looked to just have a tap over, but she got sent back. Just a return to sender there. She made an attempt. I'd say she made an attempt and Schultz made an attempt, but no dice for the Bruins. He's entering on as Kaisa Mayer for Catherine Fish.
And Cherry Creek, they've got one timeout left. And, I mean, down 5 with Grandview quickly approaching that 25-point mark. You're curious if you take one more timeout or if you just let it play out. Because, again, I don't know. I mean, there's really little Coach Moose can do at this point. Things just aren't clicking tonight for the Bruins.
But that one does. Great kill for number 8, Allie Nebergall. As the Bruins now back 14-17. As you know, maybe Moose is just going to play with this lineup until she finds a squad out there who can just gel. Mayer, Schultz, McDougal. It's down, and it hits the beam, comes back, and Grandview appeared to be, you know, they're getting a little flustered, I'd say. It's only 2 points, but I haven't seen this out of Grandview all day.
Got to start somewhere. Rachel Reed making a really good, the teammates can't.
And now maybe the wheels falling off a bit is they're just not in sync. Mayer, Schultz, the slide is going to, and an unintended set, I'd say, comes over. Chapman looks to make a dig, but a miscommunication there maybe between varsity and JV plays as Siegfried takes that one, and Bruins give up possibly a crucial point.
And that's huge. I mean,
get it back.
Back to 3.
And right now it's just taking that 5-point deficit, just slowly shrinking it. As we get to the ends of this game, you know, Moose wants them to press, but maybe you don't have to press at this point and get it all back and try too hard. As Mayer with a great defensive play. They kick it outside. Another good play by Mayer. Schultz, far side. Sherman. It's down. And the Bruins now only down 2, 16-18.
Big smile from the outside hitter Sherman on that play. She targeted the libero. Reed with that one all the way. She's going to go right at her. And boy, Reed had a rocket right at her.
And now we're going to have a timeout taken by Grandview. This is big here.
18-16 is our score. It's it's been a fun one, Max.
I agree, and you know it's great that we had you down here. We really enjoy having you just come down and giving us this whole experience. This is awesome.
Well, I'll be back.
Enjoying it.
I'll be back. Hopefully for another volleyball game. Definitely when basketball season starts rolling around. A little background. I was a student here 2008 through 2012. I'm now a senior at the University of Colorado, and this is where I got my start. And guys like Max Potter, who you guys are. I mean, what a privilege to have a guy like Max. Creating a broadcast with everyone here behind the scenes. I mean, this is great for you guys at home. I know there's only 2 of you,
but me and my producer over there, Jed Malshock. And we got our supervisor, and I'd say he's a partial producer too, Mr. Matt Weiss. And
Mr. Weiss.
This is a great program. We're trying to get something set up here, looking to be something bigger than just me and Jed and Mr. Weiss. We're trying to create this for everyone as we get back to the action here. And a good effort there by Chapman, but the placement of that ball is just so precise. I mean, I don't think she had much of a chance at that one.
McDougal's going to come out of the game in favor of Lavasani, so this defensive specialist coming in back again. Coach Moose is just going to try and hang on to see what can happen defensively.
Mayer going to get it to the lefty, and her tap. Unable to find some ground, and again, a kill from the Wolves, and they only need 5. Bruins needing 9. And is this showing signs of a second set? You don't want to say it, but this is looking almost exactly like that. It's good play from Lavasani. Nevergall. And a deep kill is blocked. Return to sender from number 13, Daisy Schultz. Beautiful job there.
That's a crucial point here. You get it back to 3. You get it back in range. I mean, it felt like there for a second Grandview was just going to run away with it, but Creek right back at it.
And right as I was saying that, Francesca Reed she's not going to let this Bruins team come back if she has something to say about it. That was just
no. She's having a ball.
Set
game.
me up and
she's
let me pound it down. As both coaches, recognizing the importance of this game. Sally, this is it for her squad. If they can't, that one's going to go out of bounds. And great talking back there from Lavasani and Chapman to be on the same page and, know to let that ball go by. Bruins now only trailing by 3. Schultz sends it away.
Well, the official just pointed at both teams on that one, but I think the point is going to go to Grandview.
He's going to give it to Grandview.
It looked close on that line.
Looked like our line judge over here on our near side said it was out of bounds, but the official, I guess he's going to overrule him. Chapman. Schultz. Back. Miscommunication there as Epper just puts it over. And a block Return to sender. Tate Eppard, Kaisa Mayer. Bruins back to within 3, 19-22. As Siegfried's going to enter on for Sherman.
Good job, though, by Sherman, the freshman. She played really well in her minutes here tonight. She's going to be someone to watch here in the future.
And, she is the future of this program. Being a freshman on varsity, that means a lot. As Schultz, good defensive play. Mayer to McDougal. They kick it out.
Great play by
Chapman there. Schultz, McDougal. And a beautiful, beautiful defensive play. That one's going to go out of bounds. And back and forth continues no longer as the Bruins get back-to-back points, 20-22. And this is it, Joe. I don't know how much time Cherry Creek has.
I mean, they got to convert here. I'll tell you that. 1 point at a time.
Siegfried gets it over. And Grandview looks for the tap. Played nicely by the Wolves. And, they just tapped it over. Schultz made a good effort, but no one there. And Grandview needing 2.
I think
Moose
is going to take her last
importance.
time
Yeah, she's going to expend that last time out. This is it. Cherry Creek needing 5 as the gym goes silent here. Everyone, letting the coaches do their thing.
Oh, student section, they're gone.
Yeah.
They left.
We had I'd say we had 75.
Oh, yeah, I think there's about 100 kids here at the beginning.
And now we have it back to, maximum. I'm counting 6. And then you got, that's just tough. You have no one as a team out there. You're looking for support right now.
Yeah, I mean,
this
seriously.
is the point where you need somebody to have your back, and you can't just be out there, playing your game alone. They have us back in here, but we can't provide all the support for them that's needed by the student section that's, disappeared. And I'd say as an athlete, it's got to be disheartening to know that your team's not backing you or your students aren't backing you.
See if there's a little bit of magic
Chapman.
in the gymnasium tonight.
Siegfried, Schultz, to Mayer. And Grand block. Out of bounds.
Oh, boy.
And this is it, folks. Bruins needing 6 to win.
6 in a row.
Yeah, 6 in a row. And they're going to need 4 to, get us to 2 more. Schultz, McDougal. That's it. And Grandview's going to take this one 25-20 as the Bruins get swept here in 3. As that's a tough loss, folks.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one to swallow here during homecoming week, but, this is a very good Grandview team. Yes. They showed here tonight why they're a top program in the state year in, year out. And for Cherry Creek, you get a taste of it now. You get, what it feels like to lose in the Centennial League. I think Cherry Creek is fine. I think, it's a disappointing performance here tonight, but they've got a lot of volleyball play left in this season. And, they'll run into Grandview again.
And I got to say at this point, you can't give up on the rest of this. That's 2 losses in a row, but you got to come out next time versus Mullen. And that's a little later this week. I believe that game is on Thursday. And you got to come out in that game with fire. You can't come out flat and, still moping this losses. I think that's the biggest point for the Bruins right now. They got to get back to winning, and as every team does, that's all you can do. But, I feel like this is just a bump in the road for the Bruins.
It's, and sometimes you got to lose a game to, learn some things. I think towards the end of that game, there's a lot of frustration on that bench, and you'll work through it in practice tomorrow, and you'll get through it. And, by Thursday, hopefully when Mullen comes around, you guys are good to go.
And that's going to be it for us here on CCHS Bruins Then, your home for Cherry Creek Sports. For Max Potter, alongside Joe Paris, we thank you for tuning in to tonight's contest. We hope you have a great night. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later.